Hey, welcome back to Happy Little Node Trees. Today we're going to talk about black and white node trees. It's kind of something I've just started. Let me clean up this tree a little bit. Playing around with, exploring a bit, and wondering about and thinking about is black and white node trees. Let's turn off this because I've been playing around. So we're back. Here is a nice black and white image, right? There's nothing going on. My scopes are dead in the water. Everything's even, but it is a black and white image. The thing is, what if we turn off this node, which I was playing around with here? Her face is completely different, and I get it. I'm using face refinement, and yeah, and if we turn off these two nodes, what happens? Or these three nodes, what happens? We end up with a much brighter image. We can also bring back the shadows. That's fine. But what are we doing? So yeah, let's see what we have going on in this node tree. So this is just OpenDRT. We have some diagnostics down here coming back out. We have this here, and here's the shock. All right, so what's going in? Let's just do this. So here is my look that I built, right? Let's see here. There we go. And we can turn off contour. Contour is doing nothing in contrast. Contour is only pulling the master sat strength down to 0. Bam. Oh my goodness! What is going on with her face? Oh, right there. She's got some pink eyeshadow. The colors in this image are so crazy, but it works. Like if we turn that amount of work off and just go into contour and turn all that off, that's just our input CST to our DRT on the out. Let's delete that so that's not confusing. So we have contour here, taking all the set out. She's very flat when you do that. There's no definition to her face. But because of what we did here, there is so much more contrast, so much more richness. And so that's this weird question and thought that I've been working on is, in the old days, this is what you would have seen on set. They would have lit it. This isn't even lit well. This isn't, we can strike that, and you can see that her face is still lit up, and we don't lose, we lose a little of the shaping, but not much. To how it contrasts, but you start to get some of that shaping back, and I'd probably make tweaks to it. But think about it this way: so you have tungsten or carbon arc bulbs lighting a set in the 1900s. Panchromatic film comes out, and it sees a range of colors, with red and blue registering as black, with yellow registering as white. And that's how panchromatic works. And the response to panchromatic film was, let's do makeup so that when we show off the film, people look good. Because the makeup at the time didn't worked for orthographic film, which registered red as black and didn't see red as much, and had a much more limited vein of what it could pick up. Whereas in panchromatic film, these different shadows, the highlights on her face, if we just zoom, getting viewer zoom, we can see much better. Those different increments and decrements of color on her is what's giving her, with face refiner, that's what's giving her all the definition that when we bleach it out, you have the shadowing and the shading getting picked up and still getting picked up, even though it's been bleached out. Whereas if you turn that off, we lose, oops, not all that, let's just turn off these. You lose all that definition and shadowing and shading that's going into her face. And all that shaping. I didn't do anything besides just run face refiner, so had it run the matte, and then really just worked like her eyeshadow. So the temp, and you can see we're just affecting and the tint of the upper very lightly. The hue was a big slam. to how the hues changed. And that's just sliding that around, and we can turn off contour and you can see how those hues changed. And we'll go back to eyeshadow, and this is the options of hues that create that shading under her eyes, whereas with it being zeroed out, there's nothing then when we go black and white. There's no shape to it. But just by tweaking that hue, oops, yeah, let's go back here, of the eyeshadow, we can change how that finished look is. And that red is reading a bit darker than the green underside, so you're actually getting some lightness. And it's thinking about it in terms of increment and decrement. There's a guy that's probably going to tell me that, watch this video and tell me that I'm stupid and I'm not getting what he's laying down. But it's getting at, can we color and tweak everything that's going into that sat killing node to create shape and definition that wasn't there before? Because if we just shut these down, like, yeah, she's, oops, turn these on, we want to select this, very flat, there's not much there, and just giving it that shape and look so that when you're watching it, and probably, I think I tweaked it too far on the hue, my bad, we might need to tweak that hue back just a little bit, there we go, right there. And tint, hue, saturation, gamma, we can bring that down, you know, make it darker. Ooh. And shape, we're really just using Face Refiner to shape and give definition to what was a flatly lit version of her. You can even fix blush, saturation, we can think about the forehead, and just give it a little bit more feels. And yeah, just using Face Refiner, it's been tracked, and separating the colors out and then using their gamma to make it darker. And you can see she looks wonky. But it's because the different colors that are getting fed into the machine register differently. Anyways, I'm still working on this. I'm still thinking about this. And what are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments and then go watch another video of talking about how we can understand the fact that this is how they would have maybe done some makeup on a person to get it to look right on camera way back when. How does that affect how we do black and white grades when we're starting with color footage? How should we approach it to recreate that filmic essence that feels so good and so right to our meatware and our brains? But anyways, watch the next video and we'll see you in the next one.